So the last movie we're going to talk about on here is from director James Wan, and it's a movie that a lot of people didn't see in theaters, and it was actually out pretty much everywhere. I know it was out here, so if it was out, in Prestonsburg / Pikeville, Kentucky, I'm sure almost anybody in the whole fucking country could see it if they wanted to. It's a movie, actually, I think it came out the same weekend as Rob Zombie's Halloween.
It did, because it got completely fucking hammered by that movie. But this is James Wan's Death Sentence, which is a throwback, as a lot of people might expect, to films like Chuck Bronson's Death Wish and Billy Jack and Walking Tall and all the vigilante films that were really popular in the 70s and 80s.
And this is a really surprising movie coming from James Wan, who strictly horror, and this isn't a horror movie at all. This is just an old-fashioned revenge movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Bacon, you have Kevin Bacon and his wife, which is played by the lovely Kelly Preston. It's a shame she married John Travolta. What the fuck?
I don't know. But why in the hell isn't Kelly Preston in more stuff, though?
I don't know, but let me tell you something, okay? She's still hot. She's still hotter than hell. But
she's still a good actress, too.
Yeah, and she's always great to watch, and she's got a lot of charisma, if you will. Back in the day, though, man, like around the Twins era, Kelly Preston, to me, it just doesn't get any hotter than that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, Kelly Preston. Mixing John Travolta with Dufty. Oh, my God, Kelly Preston.
It sounds like when you used to at Bruno Table. Anyway.
But Kelly Preston, of course, and then, like, their two sons. And there's, like, the jock son who plays hockey. Isn't it hockey? It's hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hockey.
And they're really proud of him. And then there's the younger son, which is sort of...
Goddamn slacker's what he is.
Yeah, he's a slacker. And he's not really as outgoing as the older son. But one night, Kevin Bacon, of the world-famous Bacon Brothers, and his older son, the jock son, the prodigal son, if you will, are heading back from a hockey game, and his son is caught in the middle of a gang ritual, I guess you would say, and killed. And Kevin Bacon, of course, sees all this, and along the way tries to stop the guy that shot his son, and of course sees him face to face, knows what he looks like and everything. And when he identifies him, they're going to go to trial, all this. He realizes he's going to get off. There's nothing he can do about it. He's going to get away with murdering his son. So there's where it sort of starts. Where half the movie, it's like half and half revenge movie. Half of the revenge movie starts there. And I don't really want to give away the other half because it really is like, I didn't see it coming. I really did. But let's say just Kevin Bacon takes the law in his own hands. We'll say that. And just not give any more of it away.
Well, it's odd
goes
because
after the gang.
I thought it was odd because the film actually starts off with it's almost like Kevin Bacon he ends up killing some of these guys that murdered his son, but it's almost like he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of dragged into it, and he's really conscious about what he's doing, and it really is like James Wan made it to where he was a vigilante, but he was one that definitely didn't even want to be doing what he was doing. And like one guy gets killed when they try to get revenge on Kevin Bacon, and they come after him. He gets killed inadvertently.
The first guy that he kills is actually a little bit of an accident.
Yeah.
So,
but then
it makes it like more believable, really. Because most people, if they're honest, good-hearted people, are not really going to want to kill anybody regardless of what happens. And that's how it would be in real life.
Well, he's a nervous wreck after the first thing, but then the film in the second part of the movie shifts gears completely, and he's very intent on doing what he's doing. Yeah. So it is kind of like a morality play in that sense.
And there's some of the best action scenes. Like there's a scene in this parking garage, that is freaking unbelievable. I can only imagine how long that took to shoot.
There's got some great camera work.
Yeah.
From the top, like some awesome helicopter shots. Stuff.
And actually, the unrated version of the DVD has some. It's not a whole lot of gore stuff. There's a couple of really awesome shots in there, like involving a shotgun. I'll just say that.
And we've talked about this too. That the one guy in the film that I was completely amazed by was John Goodman, because John Goodman has like a smaller role as like a gun peddler that Kevin Bacon runs into, who also is affiliated with the gang that Kevin Bacon is trying to kill.
Yeah.
He's trying to get revenge on. And I thought you wouldn't even really ever think it was John Goodman.
No.
I mean, it's like a complete 180.
He's never played a role like this,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And he does I was surprised as hell. I mean, when I saw John Goodman in that role at first, I was like, what? What the fuck? What the hell's he doing? But he did a great job. John Goodman's he must be a really good actor. So.
Yeah, he pulled that off flawlessly. The gang itself is actually pretty good because they all look like scumbags for one thing. But the only problem I had with it is that I don't know if because of racial issues or prejudice issues or whatever that he felt the need to do this, or if it was just a statement about anybody can be in a gang. But it's like a mixed gang.
Yeah.
There's like white guys and black guys and Mexican people.
Well,
I think that does not happen.
I think James Wan could have gotten away with the Aryan Brotherhood gang if he wanted to, because James Wan is an Asian Australian guy.
Right.
So he could pretty much get away with any sort of racial deal.
Yeah, the thing about it is, seriously, does anybody know that really happened other than in movies? Because, look, every time you ever hear about a real gang, it's always like the Latin Kings versus, the Crips and the Bloods. Like, there's no gangs where you're like, oh, that's a mixed group of people right there.
I don't know. I mean, the last movie I remember seeing the thick racial angle in was American History X, which was an awesome movie, and it actually won a lot of awards. I'm guessing he just didn't want to do that in this movie, maybe.
He probably knew he would get into trouble if he tried to do it. But the fact of the matter is that to me is a little bit unconvincing, that part of it.
Yeah.
But the guy who plays the lead of the gang, and I cannot remember his friggin' name to save my life.
No, well, here's the reason. Fox doesn't send us actual DVDs.
Yeah, that'd be really nice if we had something to look at, but
we don't have. They don't even send like press releases or anything. They send just the DVD, which is fine, but we're not going to remember all the names of these people.
Anyway, the leader of the gang, who's actually like Kevin Bacon's lead nemesis in the film, I thought did an excellent job as well. Like, he's very convincing as somebody that just after a point doesn't give a damn. Yeah, he doesn't like care what happens to him, and to a point, what happens to anybody else.
It's a shame that this movie came out when it did, I think. Although, I don't see it ever being a massive hit, just the type of movie it is.
It wasn't.
But I think that it could have got a bigger, it would have been a bigger hit than it was.
It's almost like it was made not to be a massive hit, though. It's like a cult film in the fact of it's an exploitation film anyway.
And I don't say anybody couldn't respect James Wan. And I'm hoping, I mean, I want to be honest with you about the interview. The interview wasn't the best interview we ever did, whether you get to hear it or not. Because it was a timed interview, and we were a little rushed. But James Wan seemed like a really good guy, and hopefully at some point we can have him on the show for a real Dead Pit style interview. But hopefully you all get to hear the interview that we did sometime. But I think that this guy he's a guy you need to keep an eye on, because he doesn't want to stick to anything in particular. Like, to me, it sounded like to me when we talked to him, he just wants to sort of avoid the Saw series from now on. I mean, he did his one Saw movie, and that's good enough. He wants to try something new. And how many of those Splat Pack members can you honestly say wants to go out and do something new every time, every movie?
I'm curious, though, because there's a guy that writes for IMDb. Or is it IMDb, or is it... No, it's not IMDb, it's DVD Talk. And he's got up like his top 10 and bottom 10 horror films of the year. And I have no idea why that guy really fucking hates James Wan, because 2 of James Wan's films are in his bottom 10 films, Dead Silence and Death Sense. I have no idea why that is, but I'd love to know, like, what it is about that makes people write shit like that. Because to me...
What site was it?
I think it was DVD Talk.
I think people still... See, a lot of people didn't want to give Dead Silence a chance just because it was another puppet sort of movie. And I don't even see Saw as a puppet movie. I never saw that, but it had a puppet in it, I guess. People just, I don't know, that's how people are, but he's, to me, you know, he's the best of the Splat Pack guys so far. I mean, he's the one that I constantly wait for new stuff, you know.
But with genre filmmakers, with people that make films that are in certain genres, like, you know, exploitation, revenge films, and horror films, you're going to have people like that will just not like those fucking movies no matter what. Yeah. And it upsets me because it's almost like they don't even really watch the films. Yeah, they automatically pigeonhole him anyway.
Well, I think that we get a little bit of that too because, you know, a lot of people, they only look at the stuff that we hate on and they don't want to look at the stuff that we like, which we, believe it or not, we like the majority of the crap we talk about on here. I mean, if you look at it week by week, maybe not this week, look at it. But, you know, this was a mainstream film. James Wan, we've always said that we thought he was a talented filmmaker. You know, after I saw Dead Silence, I realized that the guy actually does have more to offer than the torture genre and all that. So I just think people need to seriously open their eyes.
I'll be completely honest about it. Like, I like this movie more than I did Dead Silence.
Well, I figured that. I didn't think you liked Dead Silence.
I thought Dead Silence was okay. I really did, though. And I'm not a big, massive fan of, like, exploitation films anyway, but I thought this one, in the style of those films, is probably one of the better ones, actually, even from the stuff from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. It's a really good film. It's not really a horror film, but hell, I mean, why not review it? I mean, I always wanted to see this movie. Unfortunately, we went to see the fucking Halloween movie instead of seeing this.
We so should have gone and seen that one.
But you definitely check that out. It's on DVD. It came out this week. You'll definitely want to buy that. Buy it now, or I'll kill every one of you.